All right, so why isn't he following through with drug testing?
Judge, what has transpired is...
And here's the first red flag. When a judge opens with this kind of question, it usually means the defendant has already been skating on thin ice. Miss a drug test? In probation terms, that's basically like waving a red flag in front of a bull.
As I understand it, is in July of 23, there was an amendment made and Mr. Davala was placed on GPS. And it's my understanding that at that time...
CR 9921, State versus Jacob Anthony Davala. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Virginia for the state of Texas.
Donald Wilson for the defense.
And are you Jacob Anthony Davala?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jacob Anthony Davala Jr. who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 9921 for the offense of assault, impeding breath or circulation of family violence with a previous conviction on April 23rd, 2019?
That's serious. Impeding breath means choking, a major marker of violence in domestic cases. And since he already has a prior family violence conviction, this jumps from a third-degree felony to a second-degree. That bump alone could mean the difference between probation and decades in prison.
For a period of 4 years and extended for a total of 4 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violation condition number 20. On or about the 14th day of March 2024 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Jacob Anthony Davala Jr., the then and there failed to comply with the rules and regulations of the Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Intermediate Sentence Program as set forth by the court, and that the defendant failed to comply with all conditions of probation, drug tests as directed, and violation of number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Notice what just happened. He pled true. That's not a normal guilty plea, but it admits to violating probation. And by doing that, he's handing the judge the power to sentence him up to 20 years. Why admit it? Often, it's part of a deal, but it's still a massive gamble.
Will waive remaining violation.
Any objections
No, Your
to the
Honor.
waivers? Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 20, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 20?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 22 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. That is to revoke the defendant's probation, indicate the defendant guilty, and sentence the defendant to 3 years TC.
All right. What has he done on probation?
Judge, he's completed the VIP. He's completed ISF.
Yes. He did complete application.
Any objection to the court reviewing the probation court summary?
No, Your Honor.
Following through with drug testing.
Judge, what has transpired, as I understand it, is in July of 23, there was an amendment made and Mr. Davala was placed on GPS. And it's my understanding that at that time, when they were fitting him with the monitor, he was asked where he was going to live, and he told them where he was going to live, which included living with his wife and kids. And he was placed on the monitor.
This is where emotion clashes with law. He's basically saying, "Judge, I broke probation rules because I miss my family." Sympathetic? Maybe. But in court, feelings don't erase conditions, and family contact restrictions are strict in domestic violence cases for a reason.
Monitor and was living with the wife and kids. Then in December of 23, the probation officer changed, or somewhere around there. And at that point, they said, "Hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be living with your wife and started giving him a hard time. And then as it progressed, told him that they were filing the motion to revoke his probation, and things dominoed from there. He was working, he was doing all the other things, but not being able to be with his wife and kids led him to go astray. And there was never a GPS violation. There was, whether it wasn't caught, there was some error along the way. But that was his basis for not doing it. Not because,
Well, I mean, I don't know if you were doing drugs or not because you didn't test.
Remember when we had a talk and you put me on the gang unit? That's when everything went downhill with the gang unit officer. The first probation officer was going good. The gang unit officer told me I had a no contact right. Since I got out of the county jail, I was living there. And then he basically told me he was in the NT Army for no contact. But the GPS monitor, I was living there already for 6 months. I was already living there.
But we're not here for that. What we're here for is you're not doing UAs. So I don't understand why you're not doing that.
I was doing everything until 6 months later. They gave me a different probation officer, which was a gang. So when everything went haywire from there.
All right. Is there anything else? And probation? Did he, other than the drug testing, did he complete everything?
There it is. The hammer drops. 4 years in prison. Notice how the judge also ordered a therapeutic program. That's the system saying, you don't just need punishment, you need rehab too. But here's a big question for you. Do you think that balance actually works in cases like this?
I think I would have to check and review the file as far as the public support being deferred. There's a total outstanding balance on the account.
Did you complete your sober support meetings?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you turn those in? That's either yes or no.
No.
All right. So here's the problem. When you don't,
Any meetings?
yes.
Yes.
Did you turn them in?
No, I have to do.
So here's the problem. When you don't turn anything in, nobody knows that you've done that. That's the problem. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding violation of condition number 20 true. Court is going to grant the motion, find you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. The court will request the therapeutic community. The court will give you credit for any time served. Did you review? Just one moment. Probation.
No.
Was there any, I don't see a no contact order with Sandy Davala.
Yes, Judge.
Is there a no contact order?
Yes, Judge. Originally, it was a no harmful or injurious contact. And then that was changed to no contact.
All right. There's to be no contact with Sandy Davala.
This moment cuts deep. The judge isn't just sentencing him. She's calling out the cycle of violence. She's essentially saying, until you fix yourself, every relationship is in danger. That's not just legal, it's personal.
No unsupervised contact with minors. And no residing with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes.
All right, you do have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on deferred adjudication. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that means, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
So after the 4 years, I can talk to Sandy.
It's best that you do not, and I'm ordering no contact.
Can I do a divorce or something? We just had a baby.
Well, that's something that your problem is that you have this assault choking. And the reason why it's a second-degree felony as opposed to a third-degree felony is because you have a prior family violence case. So you're going to need to work on you before you're in any type of relationship.
Yes.
And figure out why you get angry with people, what's going on with you. Because children in households, they don't need that because they're trying to learn and they want to be in a household that is serene and pleasant, okay?
Since 2018, I haven't caught another case in good for 7 years.
I mean, I appreciate that, but this is what I want you to ask yourself. Look at your attorney. Has he ever been on probation? Has he ever caught a case? So you still need to work on yourself. All right? And your attorney did a very good job for you because you were looking at 20 years. You understand?
Listen.
All right, good luck.